Umamusume is a anime, game, and manga series that was created by the Japanese company Cygames, with the mobile gacha game Umamusume Pretty Derby releasing globally in 2025 to immediate critical acclaim, even winning Best Mobile Game of the Year at last year's Game Awards. The series is set in a fictional universe similar to the real modern world, featuring horse/human hybrids known as Umamusume, with the characters' personalities, races, and relationships all based on their IRL counterparts. So today I've created an iceberg with the help of a close friend that will go from the most popular Umas to some of the most obscure knowledge that even some Umamusume scholars wouldn't know. However, before we begin, I wanted to give a disclaimer. I'm American, so I'm probably going to mispronounce some of the Japanese names. Please feel free to correct me in the comments, and I'm very sorry. But with all the explanations out of the way, let's begin with Layer 1. Special Week. Special Week is a brown-haired horse girl with purple eyes and is the main character of Season 1 of the Umamusume anime and the franchise mascot. After losing her mother at a very young age, Special Week was raised by her mother's friend and now has the dream to make both of her moms proud by becoming Japan's top racer. In real life, Special Week was active from 1997 to 1999 and was known by fans as the Supreme Commander of Japan. During Special Week's early years, he was often taken care of by human staff due to his own mother being neglectful and even chasing him away as a child, which resulted in Special Week being extremely kind to people and often avoiding other horses. Sadly, on April 27, 2018, Special Week passed away at the age of 23. Gold Ship. Gold Ship is a silver-haired horse girl with red eyes based on the real-life racehorse Gold Ship. She appears in Umamusume Pretty Derby and is designed to look cool and powerful with a tall build and confident racing outfits. However, Gold Ship is known for being loud, chaotic, and unpredictable. She often ruins serious moments with her jokes and strange behavior. This personality is based off of the real horse, Gold Ship, who was active from 2012 to 2015 and became a well-respected horse, but also considered unpredictable due to his behavior. For example, on June 28, 2015, Gold Ship would be favored to win the Terakazuka Kinen, however, he would panic in the starting gate, resulting in the 12 billion yen incident. Today, Gold Ship is retired on a farm in Hokkaido, Japan, where they have become a major breeder to this day. Daiwa Scarlet. Daiwa Scarlet is a Umamusume known for her reddish-orange pigtails and her extreme stubbornness. Daiwa Scarlet typically plays the role of the perfect honor student, however, in reality, she hates losing more than anything else and will do whatever it takes to be number one. IRL, Scarlet was a part of the Big Three of the 2007 Classic Philly Racers with Aston Machan and her rival Vodka, and was known for her wins, ending her career with a record 8 wins and 4 runner-ups in 12 races. Scarlet retired in 2009 and recently retired from breeding as well. It is also important to mention that Daiwa is the direct offspring of Agnes Tachyon, a legendary racehorse who is also a Umamusume and someone that Daiwa often looks up to. Vodka. Vodka is a dark brown-haired horse girl who is known for her laid-back and cool personality and their major rivalry with Daiwa Scarlet due to their conflicting personalities. In real life, Vodka was a Japanese racehorse active from 2006 to 2010 and was known for having won 7 Group 1 races, including the 2007 Japanese Derby, becoming the first filly to win the race in 64 years. Vodka was a part of the 2007 Classic Philly Racers with Aston Machan and her rival Daiwa Scarlet, which is where their heated rivalry comes from. Vodka would sadly pass away on April 1st, 2019, and her owner would cremate her, burying her in a grave under a cherry blossom tree. It is also important to mention that Vodka is the direct offspring of Tanny no Gimlet, who is considered one of the best racehorses of all time. Meijiro McQueen. Meijiro McQueen is a lavender-haired horse girl with purple eyes. She acts proper, like drinking tea, having table manners, and generally acting like someone of high class. McQueen is generally a supporting character other than in Season 2, where she is the co-protagonist alongside Tokai Teo. Her goal is to win the Tenno show, a goal shared by all the other members of the Meijiro family. IRL Meijiro McQueen was active from 1990 to 1993 and had 4 G1 wins. McQueen is also the first horse to win the Spring Tenno show twice in a row. In retirement, McQueen would become an extremely popular stud horse, which makes McQueen the grandparent of Dream Journey, Ofrevre, and Goldship. On April 3rd, 2006, sadly, after completing a breeding session, McQueen would suffer from heart failure, dying at 19. Tokai Teo. Tokai Teo has chestnut brown hair and is the main protagonist of the second season of Pretty Derby. She is a bright and bubbly girl whose main motivation is to be like Simbali Rudolph, causing her to want to become an undefeated Triple Crown winner. This want to be like Simbali Rudolph is due to, in real life, Teo being the child of Simbali Rudolph. In real life, Tokai Teo was active from 1991 to 1994, and from birth, Teo wasn't impressive. However, he had shown some promise once he started training. He was like a rising star early in his career, but suddenly he would start to have complications. After becoming a double crown during his first year, he had been to a clinic and was found to have a fracture in his left leg, resulting in him having to recover for 6 months, stopping him from participating in the last crown race. This denied Teo of the possibility of becoming a triple crown during that year. However, he returned in April of 1992. During another race, he went against Meijiro McQueen in the Spring Tenno show. This had led to Teo's first loss since his debut, with McQueen winning. 10 days after this race, it was discovered that he had gotten a second fracture in his right leg, making him have to sit out until September. In January 1993, he had a fracture in one of his toes and had to rest until October of that year. However, at the end of the year, Tokai Teo would make a miraculous return at the Amira Kinen. He ran and ended up winning, giving him the JRA award for winning the Amira Kinen. In 1994, Teo had multiple injuries, causing him to miss races and eventually forcing him to retire on August 29, 1994. He would go on to become a breeding stallion until August 30th, 2013, when Teo died from heart failure at the age of 25. Currently, his grave is at Shadai Stallion Station. Silence Suzuka. Silence Suzuka is a orange-haired horse girl and is the co-protagonist for the first season of Umamusume Pretty Derby. In the anime, Silence Suzuka enrolls in Team Specca with Special Week for a better surrounding that understands her way of running. However, midway through the season, Silence suffers a fracture injury caused during the running of the Tenno show Autumn, which results in her not being able to run for 9 months. This incident is directly based on the real-world events and the real-world Silence Suzuka, who ran from 1997 to 1998. During the 1998 Tenno show Autumn, Silence Suzuka would quickly pull away from the pack. However, Silence would continue to accelerate until suddenly pulling over to the side. Silence Suzuka had fractured his front left leg and was quickly rushed off the racetrack, where the injury was deemed too severe and he had to be euthanized. It is also important to mention that Silent Suzuko did not show any irregularities before the race and showed no fear during, meaning that he decided to accelerate on his own terms. This death shocked the Japanese horse racing scene, with it quickly becoming one of the biggest what-ifs in the history of horse racing because Silent Suzuko was extremely talented. El Condor Pasa. El Condor Pasa is a brown-haired horse girl who's energetic and confident. Her design is based on a masked luchadora. She also owns a hawk named Mambo, Hawk Tua. IRL El Condor Pasa was an American-bred horse who was active from 1997 to 1999. He couldn't run any classic races because he was foreign bred, however he campaigned in Europe but lost a major race there. Sadly, on July 16, 2002, El Condor Pasa died due to colic at 7 years old. Without her mask, Elle looks like a plain Uma and is actually quite shy and timid, reminiscent of the IRL horse's personality early in his career. Kita-san Black. Kita-san Black is a bright and cheerful Umamusume and is the main character of the 3rd season of the Umamusume Pretty Derby anime. In the 3rd season, the story follows Kita-san Black as she rises from an energetic underdog to one of the top racers of her generation, and also shows a growing rivalry with her longtime friend, Santono Diamond. IRL Kita-san Black is a legendary Japanese racehorse active from 2015 to 2017, who is famous for winning 7 G1 races over the course of his career. After retirement, Kita-san Black became a stud horse, but he remained very energetic. He was often seen challenging horses in the neighboring pasture to race along the fences, which kept him very fit. His caretakers tried to slow him down by giving him heavier horseshoes so he would gain some weight, but instead it only made him stronger. Eventually they gave up and even used this habit to their advantage by placing overweight horses nearby, letting Kita-san Black challenge them to run and helping them lose weight. TM Opera O. TM Opera O is a orange-haired Umamusume who calls herself the overlord of the Umamusume and is so full of herself that it is almost funny. She acts very dramatically and is always talking about how amazing she is. However, this confidence is not without reason, as the real opera had one of the most impressive racing careers ever seen in Japanese horse racing. Active from 1998 to 2001, Opera O dominated the season as the undisputed top horse, winning all 8 races he entered. He also set the record for the most Grade 1 races in a single year with 5 victories, which earned him the unanimous vote for Horse of the Year and Outstanding Elder Horse. In 2001, he defended his Spring Tenno Show title, tying the record at the time for the most Grade 1 victories with 7. Racing at the end of the 20th century, he earned the nickname the Overlord of Century's End and was later inducted into the Japanese Racing Association Hall of Fame in 2004 due to this. However, his fame came with some backlash from fans who claimed he made horse racing too predictable, to the point that whenever he made public appearances, they would throw rocks at him. TM Opera O would retire at the end of 2001 to become a stud horse. His jockey Ryuji Wada said that TM Opera O had brought him many achievements he didn't believe that he could achieve at his retirement ceremony, and claimed that he would not visit TM Opera O in his retirement until he wins another G1 victory without him, to become a jockey worthy of Opera O. Wada could not win another G1 victory for 17 years and never visited TM Opera O again before his death. Sadly, Opera would pass away just months before Wada would get his other G1 victory. Wada cried at the finish line, saying that TM Opera O was pushing him from behind. Fuji Kiseki. Fuji Kiseki is a formal and classy Umamusume known for her generosity and helpfulness running the Rito dormitory. Uniquely, she is a magician, and her dream is to captivate the audience, with her ultimate stage being the Triple Crown. IRL Fuji Kiseki was active from 1994 to 1995. He had a promising racing career, however it was cut short after a race where he sustained a tendon injury which caused him to retire early. Sadly, Fuji Kiseki died of old age at 23 in 2015. Maru Zensky. Maru Zensky is a sisterly, light brown-haired Umamusume. She speaks in a retro fashion and enjoys the feeling of speed, however she is very humble and many of the other Umas like her. IRL Maru Zensky was active from 1976 to 1977. He won all races he entered, during which he earned the nickname Supercar. However, he was brought from over abroad, so he wasn't able to race in the Japanese classics. He would later retire early due to chronic tendonitis, and on August 21st, 1997, sadly, Maru Zensky collapsed during a light exercise due to a heart attack. Daring Tact. Daring Tact is a cheerful and polite, brown-haired Umamusume. She grew up in the harsh wilderness, and she likes to head off into the mountains with her senior daring heart. Her goal is to prove the magnificence of her homeland. IRL Daring Tact was active from 2019 to 2020. She won the Triple Tiara, becoming the first filly in Japanese history to win all 3 Tiara races undefeated. She retired in 2020 to become a broodmare, and currently Daring Tact is still alive. Twin Turbo. Twin Turbo is a vibrant blue-haired Uma known for her immaturity and youthful energy. She's whimsical and doesn't fully know her own limits, often accidentally hurting herself, however she still loves running. IRL Twin Turbo was active from 1991 to 1996 and was a dominant frontrunner who predated Silent Suzuka. He actually had 0 Grade 1 wins and would actually become demotivated if overtaken. His racing style was basically either winning by a huge lead or losing speed at the end and losing miserably. During retirement, he would become a stud horse, only foaling 5 children, and on January 15th, 1998, Twin Turbo would die of heart failure. Nice Nature. Nice Nature is a pessimistic, red-haired Umamusume. Her mother often had to work long hours just to support them, causing Nice Nature to not be too demanding. She thinks of herself as a supporting character, often avoiding high expectations. IRL Nice Nature was active from 1990 to 1996 and was nicknamed the Bronze Collector due to finishing in 3rd place multiple times throughout his career. Nice Nature would retire with 0 G1 wins and become a stud horse, and after retiring from stud duty, he'd become a mascot for a non-profit organization helping retired horses. Nice Nature would pass away at the age of 35 on May 30th, 2023, becoming the oldest living JRA winner horse. Echinodictus. Echinodictus is a straight-laced, orange-haired Umamusume. She's cool, collected, and strict. However, she has a fierce determination to keep running as long as possible. IRL Echinodictus was active during the 1990s. She never won any G1 races, however she would run 51 races without ever sustaining a serious injury. She'd win 500 million yen during her career, a first for Japanese mares, and earned the nickname Iron Lady due to her personality. On February 7th, 2019, sadly, Echinodictus would die at the age of 32 due to old age. Matekane Tannhauser. Matekane Tannhauser, aka Mambo, is a hardworking but airheaded Umamusume known for her clumsy yet kind nature. In real life, Matekane Tannhauser was a Japanese racehorse that was active from 1991 to 1995. Over the course of his career, Mambo won multiple G2 races while going on to face many famous horses from the generation, such as Miono Bourbon and Rice Shower. However, Matekane Tannhauser was more known for being consistently removed from races due to medical mishaps, like a nosebleed and an allergic reaction that was allegedly caused by a spider. Sadly, in 2013, Matekane Tannhauser passed away at the age of 24. However, he lives on through his over 40 children. Sounds of Earth. Sounds of Earth is a passionate, brown-haired Umamusume. She loves music, plays violin, and sometimes makes flirtatious advances to her rivals. IRL Sounds of Earth was active from 2013 to 2018. He has 0 G1 wins and was the runner-up 3 times. Currently, Sounds of Earth is still alive. Royce and Royce. Royce and Royce is a smart and independent brown-haired Umamusume. Her goal is to become the strongest, but not in a traditional sense, but to be seen as hardworking for her fans. IRL Royce and Royce was active in the middle of the 1990s. He never won any graded races, and near the end of his career, he had more of a declining performance. In 1996, Royce and Royce sadly passed away. King Halo. King Halo is a brown-haired Umamusume who's determined to overcome any challenge with her unbreakable spirit. Her goal is to be recognized and respected by her mother and to be seen as first class and privileged. IRL King Halo is active from 1997 to 2000, and he had only one G1 win out of 15 races. He later became a stud horse in 2001, and on March 19, 2019, King Halo sadly passed away due to old age. Rhinecraft. Rhinecraft is a cheerful, brown-haired Umamusume known for her stubborn yet passionate personality. Her dream is the Triple Tiara race, and works hard just so that she can go to them. IRL Rhinecraft was active from 2004 to 2006 and won 4 G1 races. Rhinecraft is also known for her love of sunshine, often refusing to go inside so that she could bask in the sun for a little bit longer. On August 18, 2006, Rhinecraft would suddenly die from acute heart failure during training, dying at the young age of 4. Cesario. Cesario is a dark-haired Umamusume known for her intelligence and compassion. She often falls into the teacher type due to wanting to nurture the next generation of Umamusume. She is also passionate about education in general. IRL Cesario was active from 2004 to 2005 and gained the nickname Japan American Oaks Filly due to winning both the Japanese Oaks and the American Oaks. She also became the first Japanese horse to win a graded stakes race in America in 46 years. She won most of her races but had to retire due to a chronic condition. On February 27, 2021, Cesario would die due to shock due to complications during pregnancy. She died at the age of 18. Fusaishi Pandora. Fusaishi Pandora is a light blonde-haired Umamusume. She was praised as a genius from birth, giving her strong self-confidence. She's rather carefree at times and a bit too generous. IRL Fusaishi Pandora was active from 2005 to 2007. She would win only one G1 race, oftentimes winning second or third early in her career. She'd rival Kawakami Princess, and in one race, lost to a 3-year-old Daiwa Scarlet. Sadly, Fusaishi Pandora died on October 28, 2017. Agnes Tachyon. Agnes Tachyon is a brown-haired Umamusume and is one of the main characters in the movie Umamusume Pretty Derby: Beginning of a New Era. She is portrayed as a mad scientist, often performing dangerous experiments on others due to her being named after the term tachyon, which refers to the theoretical particle that exceeds the speed of light. Agnes Tachyon is a highly intelligent, intensely curious, and deeply obsessive individual whose entire identity revolves around her research project. While many of the other Umamusume focus on winning races, Agnes is fascinated by the theory behind speed rather than the glory of competition itself. Tachyon also shows signs of depression and lack of self-worth, like how she sometimes sabotages herself. Instead of pushing through her emotions, she pulls back and gives up on opportunities. IRL Agnes Tachyon was a Japanese racehorse that was active from 2000 to 2001 and is one of the 5 horses from the strongest generation of Japanese horse racing. However, after only 4 races, Tachyon was forced to retire due to a bowed tendon found in his front left leg. After Tachyon's retirement, he would become a breeding stallion until 2009, when he sadly passed away. Manhattan Cafe. Manhattan Cafe is a mysterious black-haired horse girl and is one of the major characters in the movie Umamusume: Beginning of a New Era. Manhattan Cafe is often referred to as unsettling, and she has the habit of seeing things and speaking to her friend when no one is there, with many fans believing that this imaginary friend that she talks to is Sunday Silence. IRL Manhattan Cafe was a Japanese racehorse active from 2001 to 2002 and was the direct offspring from the legendary Sunday Silence. This meant that expectations were extremely high for Manhattan, as many wanted to see him live up to his father, which is why we see in the anime Umamusume Pretty Derby: Road to the Top, Manhattan chasing a shadow. Nicknamed the skyscraper towering over the turf, Manhattan Cafe won all 3 Japanese Grade 1 races he ran in and was a successful G1 winner. Sadly, Cafe would pass away on August 13, 2015, with the post-mortem examination determining a tumor as the cause of Cafe's death. Haru Urara. Haru Urara is a optimistic pink-haired Umamusume featured in almost every Umamusume project. Over the years, Haru has been titled the shining star of losers everywhere due to her consecutively losing 113 races during her career. Haru Urara is based on the real-life horse of the same name, who was active from 1998 to 2004 and raced in a total of 113 races, however gained a lot of popularity due to not winning a single one. So many people wanted Haru to win even just one race, to the point where the Japanese Prime Minister at the time even stated, "I'd like to see Haru Urara win, even just once." Sadly, Haru Urara passed away on September 9th, 2025. However, her legacy will live on forever within Umamusume with her optimistic attitude. Oguri Cap. Oguri Cap is a gray-haired Umamusume with blue eyes, known for being cool-headed yet clumsy from time to time. Oguri was born with weak legs at birth, yet was able to become a formidable competitor due to help from their mother. IRL Oguri Cap was active from 1987 to 1990, and was nicknamed the Gray Monster. Oguri Cap, alongside Super Creek and Inari 1, were a part of the Hensei Big 3, who had a hand in repopularizing Japanese horse racing in the 90s. Oguri also had leg problems at birth, like his anime counterpart. Oguri is also known to eat a lot, which is directly based on real life, as Oguri's trainers had said after races, all he did was eat and sleep. Sadly, on July 3rd, 2010, he broke his right hind leg in an accident, and the decision was made to euthanize him, but his legacy and impact on horse racing in Japan are still felt today. Obey your master. Obey Your Master is a blonde Umamusume with dyed blue tips and unique star-shaped irises, and she appears in Umamusume Cinderella Grey. She's a representative of the United States, and she possesses a dual-nature personality. Outwardly, she's carefree and eccentric, but deep down, she's extremely calculating. She herself has never won a G1 race, though she has been Tamamo Cross and Oguri Cap and won those races. Obey Your Master is most likely based on Pay the Butler due to their similarity in achievements, both having no G1 wins other than beating Oguri Cap and Tamamo Cross in a single race. Sadly, Butler had to be euthanized on July 9th, 1991. The reason for the name change from Pay the Butler to Obey Your Master is that Cygames couldn't get the full licensing for Pay the Butler. Super Creek. Super Creek is a motherly and kind Umamusume and is one of the major rivals of Oguri Cap in the anime Cinderella Grey. Super Creek's motherly personality, however, can sometimes come off as obsessive and overbearing to other Umas and even her trainer. IRL Super Creek was a Japanese racehorse that was active from 1987 to 1990 and was a part of the Heisei Big 3 alongside Oguri Cap and Inari 1. Super Creek's specific personality seen in game, however, is inspired by the incident with Super Creek's jockey, who, while picking a horse to race, Super Creek would bite his sleeve and refuse to let go, as Creek wanted him. Sadly, on August 29th, 2010, Super Creek passed away. Tamamo Cross. Tamamo Cross is a short but extremely fast Umamusume, known for her energetic personality and her rivalry with Oguri Cap. IRL Tamamo Cross was a Japanese racehorse that was active from 1987 to 1988 and was known for breaking the superstition that gray horses couldn't run fast by winning 3 G1 races in a row. Tamamo Cross had an extremely heated rivalry with Oguri Cap, which caused a major boom in the horse racing scene. However, in 1988, Tamamo Cross's career would be cut short due to allegedly his owner retiring Cross out of the desire to see the horse's offspring compete before he would pass away. Dansu Flame. Dansu Flame is a rosy brown-haired Umamusume and appears in the beginning of the movie Umamusume Beginning of a New Era as a supporting character for Jungle Pocket. She's good-natured, but due to a lack of confidence in herself, she finds herself going along with whatever her peers say and do. This results in her getting swayed easily by others and often being pushed around. IRL Dansu Flame was active from 2000 to 2005 and was a part of the strongest generation of Japanese horse racing, alongside other horses like Agnes Tachyon and Manhattan Cafe. Sadly, on August 28, 2005, Dansu Flame passed away at 7 years old. Seiyun Sky. Seiyun Sky is a faded green-haired Umamusume. She's quite easygoing, often relaxing, and does things at her own pace. However, sometimes this laziness is an act to get others to underestimate her so that she can get their guards down during a race. IRL Seiyun Sky was active from 1998 to 2001. He was a frontrunner who often tricked others by using an odd strategy. He'd often go full speed at the start, slow down, and then in the final straight, go full speed again. This tactic would achieve him 2 G1s, however, due to health issues, he would have to retire early. On August 16, 2011, Seiyun Sky would suddenly pass away from a heart attack, however, his owner would post a blog later saying that Sky had hit his head before he had passed, which resulted in much speculation about his death. Baiwa Haidahide. Baiwa Haidahide is an intellectual, white-haired Umamusume. She's always making theories and solving problems systematically. Even then, she prefers practical application to carry through her theories. IRL Baiwa Haidahide was active from 1992 to 1994 and has 3 G1 wins out of all 16 races he ran. And if he didn't come in first in these races, he often came in second, his final place during his final race being 5th. Sadly, on July 21st, 2020, Baiwa Haidahide would pass away due to old age. Forever Young. Forever Young is a light brown-haired Umamusume. She's innovative and wants to revolutionize the world of Umamusume. She bolsters a high vitality, logical thinking, and extraordinary creativity. IRL Forever Young started in 2023 and is still going. They are owned by the founder of CyberAgent, which has Cygames as a subsidiary. He was the first racehorse to win the Breeders' Cup Classic as of February 26, and he was the richest Japanese racehorse in history and the second richest racehorse in the world. Out of all 14 of his races, he's been in first place for 11 of them and has 4 G1 wins and is still currently racing. Air Shakur. Air Shakur is a logical black-haired Umamusume. She's a rebel who uses calculations to win every race, however, she still struggles to win her true goal, the Triple Crown. IRL Air Shakur was active from 2000 to 2002 and is famous for winning the Double Crown but coming up short of the Triple Crown. Due to this huge loss in the Japan Cup of 2000, he was considered a part of the weakest generation alongside his peers. Sadly, on March 13, 2003, he was spooked while grazing and broke his left hind leg and had to be euthanized at the age of 6. Winning Ticket. Winning Ticket is a black-haired Umamusume who's loud, proud, and straightforward. She has a fondness for all sports and her dream is to win the Japanese Derby. IRL Winning Ticket was active from 1992 to 1994 and received 1 Triple Crown win and 2 G1 wins. In February of 1995, he would retire and become a stud horse, and on February 18, 2023, Winning Ticket would sadly pass away at 32 due to colic. Tosin Jordan. Tosin Jordan is a trendy light brown-haired Umamusume. She often tries to escape difficult situations by saying that she isn't smart enough to understand what's happening. She's also very sociable and enjoys hanging out with her friends. IRL Tosin Jordan was active during the 2010s and suffered from sand crack, a fissure in a horse's hoof which limited his racing options. However, despite this injury, he did beat one of Vodka's records and got an achievement for the fastest running time of any 2,000-meter JRA race. Currently, as of 2026, Tosin Jordan is still alive. Agnes Digital. Agnes Digital is a nerdy bubblegum-haired Umamusume. She is basically a Umamusume fangirl who came to Tracen Academy to be closer to her favorite Umas. She's known as a super all-rounder, and she's roommates with Agnes Tachyon and participates in her experiments. IRL Agnes Digital was active from 1999 to 2003 and was an American-bred horse who won 3 G1 races in a row and had beaten both TM Opera O and Meisho Dodo. He was nicknamed Weirdo due to his unusual race choices and victories. In 2003, he retired to become a stud horse, and on December 8, 2021, Agnes Digital had to be euthanized after an accident during grazing. Hishi Akabono. Hishi Akabono is a brown-haired 5'11" Umamusume known for her gentle and kind nature. She's the tallest of all the Umas and has a passion for cooking. When she was younger, she was interested in becoming a sumo wrestler, but decided against it in favor for racing. IRL Hishi Akabono was an American-bred racehorse and was active from 1995 to 1997. He's the heaviest G1 winning horse, correlating to the anime's counterpart's height. He has only 1 G1 win to his name, and sadly, on November 19, 2008, Hishi Akabono passed away at the age of 16. Taiki Shuttle. Taiki Shuttle is an American Umamusume known for her cowboy aesthetic and heart of gold, who's famous for her hugs and social personality. IRL Taiki Shuttle was an American-bred Japanese-trained racehorse that was active from 1997 to 1998 and is the second American-bred Japanese-trained racehorse to win an international G1 race. After retirement, Taiki Shuttle would become a breeding horse, fathering over 1,000 foals until he retired from breeding in 2017. Shuttle was also known for his close relationship with other horses, most notably Meisho Dodo, as they became extremely close until Taiki Shuttle's death in 2022, which even today, Dodo can still be seen wearing Taiki Shuttle's blanket. Air Groove. Air Groove is the vice president of Tracen Academy's student council and is known to the other students as the Empress. She constantly strives to live up to her mother's racing prowess, and she often is joined by her friend and president of the student council, Simbali Rudolph. IRL Air Groove was a Japanese racehorse that was active from 1995 to 1998. She was known for competing in races against stallions, including a famous victory at the Autumn Tenno Show in 1997, being the first mare to win the race in 17 years. She also won the 1997 JRA Horse of the Year, becoming the first mare to do so in 26 years. She went on to mother multiple notable racehorses and sadly passed away on August 23, 2013. Simboli Rudolph. Simboli Rudolph is the charismatic president of Tracen Academy's student council. She is known as the Emperor due to her 7 crown wins, making her one of the most accomplished Umamusume and is considered a model student. In real life, Simboli Rudolph was a Japanese racehorse that was active from 1983 to 1986 and was the 4th horse to achieve a classic Triple Crown and is most known for his 7 G1 wins, which ultimately got him in the Japan Racing Association Hall of Fame in 1987. In 1986, Simboli Rudolph was overseas amid disagreements between his handlers. One wanted an aggressive US and Europe schedule, while the other preferred rest before racing. However, the more demanding US and UK tour was chosen, and Rudolph traveled without his usual team. He raced in the US but performed poorly, finishing 6th after suffering a leg injury during a race. Despite earlier concerns about his leg condition, he was not withdrawn, and after returning to Japan, plans for more international racing were dropped. Rudolph would go on to retire and become a breeding stallion, with one of the most notable children being Tokai Teo, which is why Teo looks up to Rudolph in the anime. Sadly, Simboli Rudolph died on October 4th, 2011, but will forever be remembered for his legendary career. Hishi Amazon. Hishi Amazon is a hot-headed and aggressive Umamusume who is known for her love of fights and her competitive racing style. However, she does have a kind side to her, and she congratulates all her opponents should they win. IRL Hishi Amazon was an American-bred Japanese-trained racehorse that was active from 1993 to 1995 and won 9 graded races over the span of her career. Her name, Amazon, comes from female warriors in Greek mythology, which explains her hot-headed personality. However, her stable noted that she was extremely kind and well-tempered, which is where she gets her kind personality. Sadly, Hishi Amazon died on April 15, 2019, at the age of 28 due to old age. Narita Bryan. Narita Bryan is a reserved and quiet Umamusume who prefers to work alone and is described as running to quench her own endless thirst for speed. IRL Narita Bryan was a Japanese racehorse that was active from 1993 to 1996 and is the 5th horse to win a classic Triple Crown 10 years after Rudolph's win. Bryan was infamously known for his fear of his own shadow and wore a pillow-like cover over the bridge of his nose to prevent them from seeing their own shadow. Luckily, Narita Bryan later overcame this fear, but his team kept the cover due to it becoming an iconic part of his character. After his retirement, Narita Bryan was put to stud and had 147 offspring, but was sadly euthanized at the age of 7 due to colic. A statue dedicated to him is located at Rito Training Center, and his impact is still felt on horse racing today. Grass Wonder. Grass Wonder is an American-born Umamusume who is known for her determination to win and her love for Japanese culture. IRL Grass Wonder was an American-bred Japanese-trained racehorse that was active from 1997 to 2000 and was a part of the Golden Generation, which is often considered the most competitive and interesting time by Japanese horse racing fans. He was known for his quiet personality but incredible racing speed, earning the name Chestnut Monster due to his chestnut coat. After retirement, Grass Wonder became very laid back and was often seen eating dandelions. Sadly, on August 8, 2025, at the age of 30, he passed away due to organ failure. Mayano Top Gun. Mayano Top Gun is a young, energetic Umamusume who uses a lot of aviation lingo due to her father being a pilot. Her name is based on the Top Gun film series, resulting in Mayano Top Gun eventually becoming a part of the official advertising events for the sequel movie Top Gun Maverick, with her appearing on posters in Japan and her voice actress being invited to the official Japanese premiere of the film. IRL Mayano Top Gun was a Japanese racehorse that was active from 1995 to 1997 and was best known for winning 4 G1 races in his short racing career. He was nicknamed Kaleidoscopic Legs due to his ability to switch running styles to throw off opponents before starting a race. However, unfortunately, Top Gun would be forced to retire a year early due to an injury in his left leg, becoming a major breeding stallion, producing over 1,116 offspring. Mayano Top Gun died peacefully of old age on November 3, 2019, at the age of 27. Smart Falcon. Smart Falcon is a almond-haired Umamusume. She's an idol and always tries to be the main part of any concert. She likes to participate in multiple public events and loves interacting with her fans. IRL Smart Falcon was active from 2007 to 2012 and was known as the Dirt Demon and won first in most of his races. He has since retired, and as a stud, he has covered at least 400 mares. Currently, Smart Falcon is still alive. Satono Diamond. Satono Diamond is a naive Umamusume and is one of the co-protagonists of Season 3 alongside Kita-san Black. Kita-san and Satono Diamond met as young children and have been inseparable since, even sharing a room together, which is explained due to them being the first horses of their lineage to win races. IRL Satono Diamond was a Japanese racehorse active from 2015 to 2018 and is best known for being the first Satono of his lineage to win a G1 race. He is still alive today. Sakura Bakushin O. Sakura Bakushin O is the reckless class representative of Tracen Academy. She is confident and outgoing, even getting downhearted if no one asks her for assistance. IRL Sakura Bakushin O was a Japanese racehorse that was active from 1992 to 1994. He was known as a specialized sprinter and had won the Sprinter Stakes twice in a row, as well as other short distance grade races, winning 11 out of the 12 races he ran. Sadly, Bakushin passed away in April of 2011 after suffering heart failure at age 22. However, his legacy continues to go on, with Bakushin's grandson, Kita-san Black, being considered one of the best modern racehorses. Asian Flash. Asian Flash is a black-haired Umamusume of German descent. She is meticulous, diligent, and methodical. This ends up making her feel like a perfectionist due to all of the unforgiving nature of baking, which is one of her hobbies that she loves very much. IRL Asian Flash was active from 2009 to 2013, and his racing style can best be described by a powerful last spurt at the end of the race. This won him 2 G1 races, and after he retired, he became a stud horse at Shadai Stallion Station, then transferred to Lux Stud in 2018. Currently, in 2026, Asian Flash is still alive. Curran-chan. Curran-chan is a white-haired Umamusume. She was considered adorable since she was born, and has been using that to influence her parents and seniors to her whims. She's been able to climb to the top of the social ladder, becoming an influencer with over 3 million followers. IRL Curran-chan was active from 2009 to 2012 and was considered as a top-class sprinter, having won 5 races in a row. She has since retired and become a broodmare. Rice Shower. Rice Shower is a black-haired, long-eared Umamusume known for her shy and timid personality. Rice Shower is shown to have low self-esteem and struggles with the fact that she always tried to live up to others' expectations, resulting in her often beating herself up over simple mistakes. Rice Shower's IRL counterpart was active from 1991 to 1995 and gained the nickname the Black Assassin due to preventing Majiro McQueen's third win and Miono Bourbon from receiving the Triple Crown. However, these wins also affected his career popularity, like during the race with Miono Bourbon, because the crowd was so heavily in Bourbon's favor, there was no applause, just booing at the end of the race. Sadly, on June 4th, 1995, during the Spring Tenno show, Rice Shower would suffer a major leg fracture, resulting in him falling over and injuring himself and his jockey. Ultimately, Rice Shower would have to be euthanized on the scene, leaving the horse racing scene in grief. Rice Shower's jockey, Matoba, though injured when Rice Shower fell, insisted he stay with the horse until the end, and Rice Shower's stable hand, Kawashima, permanently left the world of horse racing forever. Meijiro Ryan. Meijiro Ryan is a strong and sporty Uma who, despite being born into a highly acclaimed and reserved Meijiro family, she often feels like she struggles to fit in with the rest of the family due to her animated and rambunctious behavior. Ryan seems to struggle with something of an inferiority complex surrounding Meijiro McQueen and wishes to be as fast and as pretty as her. IRL Meijiro Ryan was a racehorse active in the early 1990s, who at the beginning of his career struggled to find his footing. However, eventually Ryan was able to defeat his peer and rival Meijiro McQueen at the Terakazuka Kinen. Sadly, Meijiro McQueen has since passed away due to old age on the 17th of March 2016. However, he leaves a uniquely impactful story and legacy. Miono Bourbon. Miono Bourbon is a unique Umamusume who views the world through the lens of programming and databases, carrying out her objectives in a expressionless and robotic manner, resulting in many viewing her as a cyborg or robot. However, underneath, she does indeed have feelings. IRL Mihono Bourbon was a Japanese racehorse active from 1991 to 1992, nicknamed the Cyborg due to his robotic and consistent running pace during intense training. These intense training regiments were extremely effective, with Bourbon going undefeated for 8 races until he was beat by Rice Shower. After this loss, Bourbon was retired from racing and he became a stud horse. However, none of his children were able to continue his remarkable legacy. Daitaku Helios. Daitaku Helios is a loud and chatty Umamusume known for her abrasive personality and is one of the protagonists of the stage play Umamusume Pretty Derby Sprinter's Story. However, she is probably best known for her Umamusume rap, which went viral in December of 2025. IRL Daitaku Helios was a Japanese racehorse active in the early 90s and is one of the most famous frontrunners in Japanese racehorse history, winning the Mile Championship twice in a row. However, he was also known to be very silly and goofy, throwing off his jockey multiple times. A major upset happened in almost every race he ran, and only won when his popularity was low and lost when it was high. His strange behavior even continued after retirement, when he appeared to have collapsed in the pasture, but in reality he was simply lying down and eating grass. Sadly, Daitaku Helios passed away on December 12, 2008. However, he will be forever remembered for his amazing career and strange personality. Meijiro Dober. Meijiro Dober is a cold and reserved Umamusume who grew up in the prestigious but very sheltered Meijiro family, resulting in her becoming tense in many social situations, especially if men are present. IRL Meijiro Dober is a Japanese racehorse that was active from 1996 to 1999, known for her G1 wins in female-only races. In-game, her hatred for men is based on the fact that in real life she was never able to integrate in non-female races. Currently, Meijiro Dober is the oldest living Umamusume at the age of 32 and is the last true Meijiro currently alive. Meisho Dodo. Meisho Dodo is a brown-haired Umamusume who's pessimistic and clumsy, yet extremely determined. Her goal is to secure a brighter future for herself, and her greatest rival and friend is TM Opera O. IRL Meisho Dodo is a Irish-bred stallion who was active from 1999 to 2001. Dodo was a major rival of TM Opera O, racing against him 6 times and only winning once. Reportedly, Dodo would become depressed at just the name Opera O, likely because his trainers would talk about Opera O negatively, but he did have a good relationship with the horse Opera O because he attributed the name Opera O to Opera O's trainer. Personality-wise, Dodo is very anxious, which is why the anime Dodo has her clumsy personality, and early IRL Dodo would also have a losing streak early in her career, which is a possible reason why the anime version is so pessimistic. Currently, Meisho Dodo is still alive and can still be seen today, and even has a close relationship with a stray cat named Meito. Matekane Fukikitaru. Matekane Fukikitaru is a orange-haired Umamusume known for her love of the supernatural and luck, often asking her crystal ball for predictions before a race. This is due to their name, Fukikitaru, meaning good fortune has come. IRL Matekane Fukikitaru was a Japanese racehorse that was active from 1996 to 2000 and was known best for his 2 G1 wins. In retirement, Matekane Fukikitaru would see lots of visitors, often allowing visitors to pet his head and would eat carrots offered to him. On July 30th, 2020, Matekane Fukikitaru would lie down in his pasture and pass away peacefully at the age of 26 years old. Bell No Light. Bell No Light is a analytical, brown-haired Umamusume. She and her family specialize in racing equipment, so she has a deep understanding of racing and the track. Bell No Light doesn't have an official real-life counterpart. Her counterpart is fan-assumed and is thought to be Twin B due to similarities between them. IRL Twin B was active from 1987 to 1990. It is known that she raced 45 times and won only 10. However, most of their career is relatively undocumented, missing most of the race grading information and even her retirement location. The exact date and cause of death for Twin B are unfortunately also undocumented. Sakura Chiono O. Sakura Chiono O is a pure-hearted and honest Umamusume who is known for her love of cherry blossoms. IRL Sakura Chiono O was a Japanese racehorse who was active from 1987 to 1989. He shared the 1988 Triple Crown with Yaeno Muteki and Super Creek by winning the Japanese Derby, and is the last horse to win it during the Showa era. He later retired after a previous minor leg injury began to flare up, and he later sadly passed away on January 7th, 2012. Stay Gold. Stay Gold is a free-spirited, endlessly curious Umamusume who drifts wherever her whims take her, captivating others with her aloof charm. IRL Stay Gold was a Japanese racehorse that was active from 1996 to 2001. As a racehorse, Stay Gold would suffer 28 straight defeats, earning the nickname Silver and Bronze Collector for placing second or third in 14 graded stakes races. He He would later go on to score his only G1 win on his last race, making him the first Japanese-bred and trained horse to win an international G1 race. However, Stay Gold is probably best known due to his stud work, siring multiple children that would go on to win multiple G1 races, such as Gold Ship and Dream Journey. Stay Gold also possessed the strange habit of smelling his own feces, crying at the smell, and then proceeding to smell it again. Sadly, on February 5th, 2015, Stay Gold passed away at the age of 21 after exhibiting abnormal signs after a breeding session. Phenomeno. Phenomeno is a sharp and strict Umamusume with a strong sense of justice. Serving the Public Discipline Committee, she patrols the streets daily and helps locals through volunteer work. However, sometimes she comes off as too abrasive. This behavior is directly based on the real Phenomeno, who is very stoic. Even Ego and Goldship, who was attempting to intimidate Phenomeno in the gate next to him. IRL Phenomeno is a Japanese racehorse that was active from 2011 to 2015 and is one of the many iconic children of Stay Gold. He would be known as Japan's best stayer/long distance horse during his career, winning the Tenno Spring twice in 2013 and 2014. Phenomeno has since retired from racing to become a breeding stallion in 2016. However, he has since retired from breeding as well. Rulership. Rulership is an intelligent yet fragile Umamusume known for her extreme love of hardcore board games. She enjoys setting up plans and letting everything play out like a board game. However, if something goes wrong or if plans derail by accident, she instantly buckles and folds, hiding away in a room and refusing to come out. IRL Rulership is a racehorse that competed from 2009 to 2012, best known for his late starts, but often placing well despite them. His only G1 victory was in 2012 in the Queen Elizabeth II Cup when he was 5 years old. As of 2026, he is still alive today. Orfevre. Orfevre is the self-proclaimed king of racing and believes that the turf is her territory to stomp over and that the Triple Crown was always hers from the start, and she plans to take it with her own bare hands. IRL Orfevre is a Japanese racehorse that was active from 2010 to 2013 and is the 7th Japanese Triple Crown winner and is considered one of the greatest racehorses from Japan. Orfevre has since retired from racing and become a successful breeding stallion with multiple successful foals. Nakayama Festa. Nakayama Festa is a thrill-seeking rule breaker who lives for the rush. When she was younger, she lacked direction. However, she would find her spark through racing, chasing the adrenaline that comes with pushing her limits. IRL Nakayama Festa is a Japanese racehorse active from 2008 to 2010 and is known for having the worst temper of Stay Gold's children. However, this temper also helped fuel Festa's multiple G1 victories. However, since retirement, Nakayama Festa has surprisingly become more well-behaved and gentle with staff and visitors, with staff describing him as somewhat needy for attention. Dream Journey. Dream Journey is a gentle and caring model student, carrying herself with the grace of an older sister, especially to Orfevre. Inspired by a mysterious big sis from her childhood, she races in pursuit of the journey's end she was once told about. IRL Dream Journey is a Japanese racehorse that was active from 2006 to 2011. He was the first G1 winner for the decorated Japanese sire Stay Gold and was known for his small stature and is the lightest horse to ever won a G1 JRA turf race. Dream Journey is also known to enjoy breaking people's spirits by slowly cornering ranch staff members before biting them on the neck near their arteries to the point where they bleed. This was so extreme that his old jockey refused to step close to Dream Journey, even mumbling, "He might kill me." Meijiro Ramonu. Meijiro Romonu is a brilliant and elegant Umamusume who stands out from the rest of the prestigious Meijiro family due to her captivating beauty and her devotion to racing. Meijiro Romonu was a dominant filly who raced from 1985 to 1986, making history as the first mare to win the Japanese Fillies Triple Tiara, capturing the Oka Show, Japanese Oaks, and Queen the Elizabeth II Cup. She also remains the only mare to win every trial race leading into the Triple Tiara, cementing her legacy as one of the most dominant fillies of her time. Sadly, Meijiro Romonu died at the Meijiro farm on September 22, 2005 at the age of 22 due to old age. Meijiro Arden. Meijiro Arden is a young and gentle Umamusume who, despite her fragile glass legs putting her at a disadvantage when running, she refuses to let them hold her back. As a child, she was extremely sheltered due to her fragile body, so she finds community life at the academy quite the novel experience. IRL Meijiro Arden was a racehorse that raced during the late 80s and was a talented racehorse from the era of the Hensei Top 3. However, due to extremely fragile legs, he would never win a G1. Sadly, Meijiro Arden died in 2002, suffering a heart attack while mating. Meijiro Palmer. Meijiro Palmer is a social and relaxed Umamusume from the renowned Meijiro family, who often struggles to live up to the family's expectations and keeps running to prove her place in the family. IRL Meijiro Palmer was a Japanese racehorse active from 1989 to 1994 and is known as a powerful frontrunner, especially when racing alongside Daitaku Helios. However, in the beginning, Meijiro Farm had low expectations of Palmer as a flat-distance runner, but he quickly proved that he was a powerful racehorse through his multiple G1 wins. Sadly, on April 17, 2012, Meijiro Palmer passed away due to a sudden heart attack. Meijiro Bright. Meijiro Bright is a laid-back and easygoing Umamusume, a part of the Meijiro family, however does not shoulder the same level of expectations as the other members of the estate, but still holds some unique powers. IRL Meijiro Bright was a Japanese racehorse that was active from 1996 to 2000. He was known to be a late response horse who reacts to his jockey's instructions slowly. He typically ran long-distance races and was the final horse bred by the Meijiro farm to win a Tenno show with a victory at the 1998 Tenno show spring. However, unlike in-game, he was known to be a temperamental horse, once fighting Temamo Cross, with staff describing their fights as so ferocious that no man or horse would dare come close to them. Sadly, on May 16, 2004, Meijiro Bright passed away at the age of 10. He had suffered a heart attack after a breeding session and passed away. Seeking the Pearl. Seeking the Pearl is a dark brown-haired Umamusume known for her confident and self-expressive personality. Her main goal is to show that anyone can do anything and everything is possible. IRL Seeking the Pearl was active from 1997 to 1999, and she was the first full-bred Japanese horse to win a foreign G1 race. After retirement, Seeking the Pearl would pass away in 2005, the exact cause of death being unidentified, but many presume it to have been a strike of lightning. Santono Crown. Santono Crown is a cheerful, dark grayed hair Umamusume known for her extreme determination. She likes magic and even dresses like a magician. She is also part of the Santono family and carries the heavy expectations that come with it. IRL Santono Crown was active from 2014 to 2018. He had 2 G1 wins and was often racing in foreign countries, most notably Korea. He has since retired to become a stud horse at Shadai Stallion Station, and he is currently still alive and breeding. Verx Zina. Verx Zina is a confident, dark indigoed hair Umamusume who holds the title of Queen, something that she takes a lot of pride in. She has a high education and is very talented, yet she still considers herself cursed by the number 2 and coming in second place. IRL Verk Zeno was active from 2011 to 2014. She holds 2 G1 wins, however she was also known as the Silver Collector due to constantly coming in second place compared to her rival, Gentle Donna. Verk Zeno has since retired from racing and has become a breeding mare. Vivlos. Vivlos is a dark brown-haired Umamusume known for her stubborn and bratty personality. Having grown up in a wealthy family, Vivlos quickly became spoiled and now wishes to live like a celebrity in a luxurious country. However, her biggest dream is to run a race in Dubai. IRL Vivlos was active from 2015 to 2019 and is known for her international feat on the Dubai turf. On April 10th, Vivlos would retire with 2 G1s to her name and become a broodmare. Ines Fujin. Ines Fujin is a respectable and friendly Umamusume who wants to repay her mother who sent her to trace an academy by winning as many races as possible. She is also known for being an extremely hard worker, having multiple part-time jobs to help support her 2 younger twin sisters. IRL Ines Fujin was a Japanese racehorse that was active from 1989 to 1990 and is one of the 4 horses to win the Japanese Derby by front running and holds the Derby race record prior to Tokyo Racecourse's remodel. Additionally, by holding the Japanese race attendance record at 196,517 spectators, he is seen as one of the contributors to turning the perception of horse racing from gambling to a sport in Japan. Sadly, Ines Fujin has since passed away in 2004, but his impact proving horse racing was a sport still impacts the scene to this day. Zeno Rob Roy. Zeno Rob Roy is a quiet and reserved Umamusume known as Tracen Academy's student library assistant. However, despite these quiet traits, deep down she longs to be a hero of an epic tale like the books she likes to read. IRL Zeno Rob Roy was a Japanese racehorse active from 2003 to 2005. He was the second horse to get the Senior Autumn Crown and established the fastest record time at the Amira Kinen, which remains unbroken to this day. He has since passed away on September 2nd, 2022, however he will forever be known as a legendary hero. Duramente. Duramente is a serious and stoic Umamusume born from a prestigious family known for producing many excellent and athletic Umamusume. IRL Duramente was a Japanese racehorse that was active from 2014 to 2016 and was favored to win the Triple Crown with his wins at the Satsuki Show and the Japanese Derby in 2015. Unfortunately, due to some injuries, he was not able to finish the Triple Crown and was forced to retire early. After retirement, Duramente would become a stud horse, however, only 5 years later he would pass away due to acute colitis. Inari 1. Inari 1 is a troublemaking and chaotic Umamusume heavily featured in the Cinderella Grey manga. IRL Inari 1 was a Japanese racehorse that was active from 1987 to 1990 and became a part of the Hensei Big 3 alongside Oguri Cap and Super Creek. However, towards the end of his career, Inari would begin to struggle and would receive a major leg injury resulting in his early retirement. However, despite this major leg injury, Inari would go on to live another 31 years, only to pass away in 2016 from old age. Biko Pegasus. Biko Pegasus is a small and imaginative Umamusume who was inspired to become a hero after watching an episode of their favorite TV show. Her looks and poses are heavily based on the Kamen Rider series, a very popular Japanese superhero series. IRL Biko Pegasus was a Japanese racehorse that was active from 1993 to 1998. While only winning 2 G3s, he ran for a long time in a short distance and mile races and had 2 second-place finishes in major races. He also had a very small build, with 442 being his peak race weight. Sadly, on June 11, 2019, Biko Pegasus passed away. Sweep Tosho. Sweep Tosho is a stubborn and sassy Umamusume who aspires to one day to become a magical girl, hoping to match her grandmother, a self-proclaimed witch. She truly believes that if she keeps winning races, her magic will level up in turn. Her characterization in-game and her name in real life is based on the show Bewitched, with her lineage being named after characters from the American sitcom. IRL Sweep Tosho was a Japanese racehorse that was active from 2003 to 2007, who is best known for when she became the first mare to win the Terakazuka Kinen since 1966. She was also the first mare to succeed in major G1 races against stallions after an era mainly led by stallion dominance. Sadly, on December 5th, 2020, Sweep Tosho died from colic at the age of 19. She was also pregnant at the time, and sadly, the foal as well did not survive. Marvelous Sunday. Marvelous Sunday is a bright and endlessly energetic Umamusume who lives life at full speed, driven by her love for everything marvelous. Once unsure where to direct her boundless energy, she found her purpose after learning that one magical word from her grandmother, marvelous, and now she spreads positivity and love wherever she goes. IRL Marvelous Sunday was a Japanese racehorse that was active from 1995 to 1997 and considered as the top 3 of seniors in 1997 with Mayono Top Gun and Sakura Laurel. However, throughout his career, Sunday suffered multiple severe leg injuries, but was lucky enough to live to 24 when he passed away from old age. Admire Vega. Admire Vega is a gloomy and pessimistic Umamusume who, after experiencing a tragedy at a young age, still suffers from its impact, even making her racing activities seem like an attempt to atone for whatever happened. This tragedy is a reference to complication with the real Vega's birth, with Vega's mother having conceived twins, and to save Vega, one of the twins had to be removed before birth, leaving only Admire Vega. However, despite this tragedy, Admire Vega would go on to become an extremely popular Japanese racehorse, active from 1998 to 1999, best known for sharing the 1990s Triple Crown with TM Opera O. Sadly, Vega would be forced to retire after a major injury, and only 5 years later, Vega would suddenly pass away on October 29, 2004, with an autopsy later revealing the cause of death to be an accidental stomach rupture. Later, on November 23rd of that year, a funeral was held with 200 people in attendance, including his trainer, Hashida, and at least 50 fans. Narita Taishin. Narita Taishin is a short yet powerful Umamusume known for her sharp and rebellious nature, with a particular disdain for people who underestimate her skills. IRL Narita Taishin was a Japanese racehorse that was active from 1992 to 1995 and was a part of the 1993 Classic Triple Crown with Winning Ticket and Baiwa Haidahide, also known as BNW. Narita Taishin was extremely skilled at acceleration at the home stretch, however would suffer from a variety of health complications throughout their career. But despite these health complications, during his career, he would live to 29 years old. Nishino Flower. Nishino Flower is a soft-spoken and innocent Umamusume who is known for her considerate and kind attitude. She is also the shortest Umamusume to this day, only being 135 centimeters, which is based on the IRL Nishino Flower, which was so small that several stables refused to have her entrusted. In real life, Nishino Flower was a Japanese racehorse that was active from 1991 to 1993. She was one of the many successful sprinters of the early 1990s and became the first 3-year-old filly to win the Sprinters Stakes after it became a G1 in 1990. She would go on to retire from horse racing in 1993, and after giving birth to 9 foals, including 7 central winners, she would pass away on February 5th, 2020 at the age of 31 due to natural causes. And that was the end of Layer 1 of the Ultimate Umamusume Iceberg, which included some of the most well-known and popularized Umas. Next, we will be heading into Layer 2, which will include some more obscure and less well-known Umamusume. Calstone Light O. Calstone Light O is a hard-headed and stoic Umamusume in pursuit of maximum speed. She's undeniably honest and straightforward, being the kind of person who's open about both her feelings and actions. IRL Calstone Light O was a Japanese racehorse that was active from 2000 to 2005, who specialized in sprint races and was given the nickname God of Speed. Unlike most racehorses, Calstone Light O has the strange habit of leaning right of the racecourse, which is referenced with a white tuft of hair pointing right on her head. Calstone Light officially retired in November of 2005 and sired 3 very successful children, but sadly passed away in February of 2024 at the age of 26. Symboli Chris S. Symboli Chris S is a blackish brown-haired Umamusume known for her neutral expressions. Her serious and stoic attitude often scares the other Umas due to her undeniable aura. IRL Symboli Chris S was active from 2001 to 2003 and is known for his 3 G1 wins. He was also regarded as the fall champion due to only winning races during the fall time. After retirement, he became a stud at Shadai Stallion Station, and Symboli Chris S would pass away on December 8th, 2020 at the age of 21, most likely due to old age. Ear Accessory Gender. The ear accessory gender is in reference to the earring that all the Umas have that actually tells you the gender of the real-life racehorse. If the earring is on the right ear, then the Umamusume is male in real life, for example, Agnes Tachyon. But if it's on the left ear, the real horse is female, for example, Daiwa Scarlet. However, this doesn't fully apply to Fine Motion, who is intersex. Gentle Donna. Gentle Donna is a strong and cold Umamusume who believes that abilities are above all else and sees any falter or mistake as weakness. IRL Gentle Donna was a Japanese racehorse who ran from 2011 to 2014. Known to her fans as the Demon Lady, she was one of the greatest mares to have ever raced in Japan, winning 7 G1 races throughout her career. She would go on to retire and become a broodmare until after a long period of declining health, she suddenly passed away, the cause of death not being disclosed to the public, though she was seen to be unable to stand up on her own the day before her passing. Wonder Acute. Wonder Acute is a gentle and docile Umamusume who often reminds others of their grandmothers until they meet her on the racecourse, where she is described as competitive and harsh. IRL Wonder Acute is a Japanese racehorse active from 2009 to 2015 and holds the record for the oldest horse to win any G1 graded race at 9 years old. Wonder Acute has since retired from horse racing, however he has picked up the hobby of painting, with one of his masterpieces selling for $6,000 USD in July of 2025, with all proceeds used to providing care for all the horses on his farm. Cheval Grand. Cheval Grand is an ambitious yet anxious Umamusume born in between her older and younger siblings who are all extremely talented, resulting in Cheval feeling inferior. IRL Cheval Grand is a racehorse that competed in the 2010s, best known for beating Kitasan Black, where he won his first and only G1. He is related to Verxina and Vivlos, 2 very accomplished racehorses, explaining her inferiority complex in-game. As of 2026, he has fully retired from stud duties and is moving to Northern Horse Park. Mr. CB. Mr. CB is a brown-haired Umamusume who's free-spirited, cheerful, and stubborn, though she's surprisingly clumsy. She is also the third Uma to win a Triple Crown in history. IRL Mr. CB was active from 1982 to 1985. He's the third racehorse to win a Triple Crown, and also the first racehorse to win the Tenno Show Autumn since its adoption. Sadly, on December 15th, 2000, Mr. CB would pass away due to lammitis. Aston Machan. Aston Machan is a brown-haired Umamusume with a particular affinity for cameras and has the dream of becoming the world's #1 mascot. IRL Aston Machan was known as one of the big three of the 2007 Classic Philly Racers alongside Vodka and Daiwa Scarlet and showed a lot of promise on the racetrack. Sadly, at only 4 years old, Aston Machan passed away due to heart failure and was quickly overshadowed by Daiwa and Vodka's rivalry. This is why she wants to become the world's #1 mascot and stares directly into the camera. She desperately wants to be remembered, because if people are looking at her, then maybe they won't forget her. Believe. Believe is a small, gray-haired Umamusume known for her determination, patience, and dedication to speed. IRL Believe was a racehorse active during the 2000s and is one of the many children of Sunday Silence and was known as a special of the 1,200-meter races, having raced 18 times over that distance. Currently, Believe is still alive today. Buena Vista. Buena Vista is a affectionate and cheerful Umamusume with light brown hair. After witnessing a unforgettable view during a race, she was inspired to compete in the Twinkle series to reach that same view and fulfill a special promise. IRL Buena Vista is a racehorse that competed in the early 2000s and is one of Special Week's most successful children, winning 6 G1s over the course of her career. Buena Vista has since retired from horse racing and become a broodmare at Northern Farm. Air Messiah. Air Messiah is a olive green Umamusume who's honest, steadfast, and hardworking. She wants to overcome her insecurities and reach her goal of winning 3 Tiara races for her mother's sake. IRL Air Messiah was active from 2004 to 2006 and had lost most of her career races, her only notable wins being the Rose Stakes and Shuka Show. Sadly, during 2006, she suffered an ingrown nail and had to be retired on February 28, 2007. After retirement, she would become a broodmare, and Air Messiah would sadly pass away due to an accident while grazing on September 12, 2014. Chronogenesis. Chronogenesis is a reserved and kind Umamusume known for her passion for studying history and predicting the results of upcoming races. Her love of history and wanting to leave her own mark on it is likely due to the IRL horse being the great-granddaughter of Sunday Silence. IRL Chronogenesis is a racehorse that was active from 2018 to 2020 and was best known for being the first horse to win the Terakazuka Kinen twice in a row since Gold Chip. Chronogenesis has since retired from horse racing and has become a broodmare on Northern Farm, where she continues to work as a broodmare today. Daichi Ruby. Daichi Ruby is a distinguished and noble Umamusume, a part of a noble family, whose name is well known around the world. She is also one of the protagonists of the stage play Umamusume Pretty Derby Sprinter's Story with Daitaku Helios. IRL Daichi Ruby was a Japanese racehorse that was active from 1990 to 1992 and best known for her exceptional pedigree, becoming a top sprinter in Japan. The reason that Daitaku Helios and Daichi Ruby are often seen together is that Daitaku Helios often ran well when Daichi Ruby was in the same race as him. This resulted in fans beginning to joke that Helios loved Ruby and wanted to show off, resulting in them appearing often together in game. Sadly, Daichi Ruby passed away on April 26, 2007. Kopano Riki. Kopano Riki is a bright and cheerful Umamusume known for her knowledge and infatuation with the art of Feng Shui, which is an ancient Chinese practice that harmonizes the flow of energy in spaces to promote health, prosperity, and well-being. IRL Kopano Riki is a Japanese racehorse active from 2012 to 2017, known best for being one of the best dirt racehorses of the modern era, winning 16 races during his career. His owner, nicknamed Dr. Copa, is a Feng Shui master, which explains why she practices the art in-game. Kopano Riki has since retired from horse racing in 2017, however he is still alive today. Daring Heart. Daring Heart is a self-confident and strong Umamusume hailing from America. She enjoys standing out and she dreams of becoming the queen of the Triple Tiara. In real life, Daring Heart was a racehorse active from 2004 to 2008 and is best known for their multiple G1 wins and rivalries with Rencraft and Air Messiah. She has since retired in 2008 and become a breeding horse. Jungle Pocket. Jungle Pocket is a mischievous Umamusume who proudly claims that she is the strongest in terms of running and is the main protagonist of the movie Umamusume Beginning of a New Era. She used to be the leader of a group of ruffians in the world of freestyle racing, but was so shocked by Fuji Kaseki's performance that she decided to race officially. IRL Jungle Pocket was a Japanese racehorse that was active from 2000 to 2002 and held the 2001 Triple Crown with Agnes Tachyon and Manhattan Cafe with a win at the Japanese Derby. Jungle Pocket would go on to retire from horse racing and would pass away in 2021. However, his legacy and passion for speed lives on through the beautiful film Umamusume Beginning of a New Era. Almond Eye. Almond Eye is a gifted Umamusume who appears flawless, the perfect model student in every way. However, this is driven by her defining trait of absolutely hating to lose. In real life, Almond Eye is a Japanese racehorse that was active from 2017 to 2020 and is often considered the most successful Japanese race mare of all time. Over the course of her career, she gained over 1.9 billion yen in bets, surpassing Kitasan Black's earnings, and won the Japanese Horse of the Year twice. After her extremely successful career, she would become a breeding mare at Northern Farms, where she lives today. Loves Only You. Loves Only You is a kind and heartfelt Umamusume who is known for her managing her own online fan club, uploading videos and streaming to thank fans who follow her, and spreading her love worldwide. IRL Loves Only You is a Japanese racehorse that was active from 2018 to 2021 and is the first Japanese horse to win a Grade 1 in 3 countries, including being the first Japanese racehorse to win a G1 in the USA since Cesario. She has since retired from horse racing and is now a breeding mare. Bamboo Memory. Bamboo Memory is a passionate brown-haired Umamusume who takes inspiration from her father, who was in a fierce competition with a rival. She herself one day dreams of having a rival of her own and works extremely hard to get one just like her father's. IRL Bamboo Memory was active from 1987 to 1991, and during this time he was considered one of the greatest sprinters, having rivaled Oguri Cap. Bamboo Memory has since passed away on August 17, 2014, at the age of 29 due to old age. Epiphania. Epiphania is a brown-haired Umamusume who says that she can hear a voice of fate. Because of this, she thinks that she has to lead everyone, and her overly enthusiastic way of doing it puts the others that she's leading into mishaps. IRL Epiphania was active from 2012 to 2015 and went unbeaten in 3 races and won multiple major races. However, his biggest success was winning the 2014 Japan Cup. He has since retired on July 30th, 2015, and currently Epiphania is still alive. Still in Love. Still in Love appears to be a quiet and composed Umamusume, known mostly for her sweet tooth and gentle demeanor. But on the track, she reveals a far more intense side, driven by fierce, almost insatiable hunger to compete and leave others behind. Though she tries to restrain this side of herself with grace, the way it slips through is both unsettling and strangely captivating. She is also known to become extremely obsessive over her trainer. IRL Still in Love was a Japanese racehorse that was active from 2002 to 2005 and was the second racehorse to achieve the Phillies Triple Tiara 17 years since Meijiro Ramonu. However, in the latter half of her career, she would suffer from a severe mental decline, quickly becoming aggressive with everyone. People would quickly begin spreading a rumor that this decline was due to her seeing her jockey with his girlfriend, which is why she is seen to be so obsessive in game. However, there is no evidence that suggests that this is true, and her mental decline can be attributed to severe inbreeding. Sadly, due to these issues, Still in Love would have to be retired early, and would later pass away at the young age of 7 due to abdominal issues. Gold City. Gold City is a platinum blonde Umamusume. She's a model often thought that beauty like hers would only appear once every 100 years, though she's realizing that she enjoys racing more than modeling and has been working towards it ever since. IRL Gold City was active from 1986 to 1989 and was considered beautiful due to his coat and physical appearance. He won one G1 race and had a relatively good racing career, and after he retired he would be retrained as a riding horse, but due to having a bad temper he couldn't get along with other horses. Sadly, in 1990, Gold City fractured his front right leg and had to be euthanized. Logo Type. Logo Type is a quiet, black-haired Umamusume. She wants to help her family business and is the heir to their hand-drawn sign workshop. She wants to try and preserve those signs and started racing to bring attention and give stability to the sign workshop. IRL Logo Type was active from 2012 to 2017 and is most known for winning 2 G1 races early in his career, entering a long losing streak and then going against the best miller at the time, Maurice. In total, he has at least 3 G1 wins and retired in 2017 to become a stud. Currently, Logo Type is still alive at Shadai Stallion Station. March Lorraine. March Lorraine is a shy and quiet Umamusume who often struggles to communicate without the use of her hand puppet, which when she uses, she comes off extremely energetic and sociable. IRL March Lorraine is a Japanese racehorse that was active from 2019 to 2022, best known for being the first Japanese bred and trained racehorse to win a US Grade 1 dirt race in 2021 and is one of the offspring of Orfèvre. Her name is derived from the 1892 French marching song March Lorraine, a patriotic song to celebrate the gymnastic festival in the city of Nancy, the capital of the French region of Lorraine. March Lorraine is currently a broodmare, even recently giving birth to Kitasan Black's offspring. Rose Kingdom. Rose Kingdom is a serious Umamusume with the mission of racing to elevate her family's standing in the world of racing to a height beyond merely prestigious. Essentially, she seeks to become the king of who leads her family. In real life, Rose Kingdom is a racehorse that competed from 2009 to 2013. Most famous for breaking a generational curse, being able to win G2 and G3 races, but never winning any G1 races, which is something the rest of her line also struggled with, explaining her wanting to become king in Umamusume. Rose Kingdom would retire from horse racing, only to have to retire from station work as well a few years later due to a head injury. He is still alive today and now spends the rest of his days at a nearby resort farm. Victoire Pisa. Victoire Pisa is a kind and warm Umamusume with long white hair and is often described as angelic. IRL Victoire Pisa was a Japanese racehorse active from 2009 to 2011 and notably became the first Japanese bred and trained racehorse to win the Dubai World Cup in 2011. Since Victoire Pisa has since retired and become a breeding stallion. Yukino Bijin. Yukino Bijin is a kind and humble Umamusume hailing from the rural Japanese countryside. IRL Yukino Bijin is a Japanese racehorse that was active between the years of 1992 and 1993, best known for the 93 Queen Stakes G3 race wins. However, due to a fracture in her left front leg, she was forced to retire early. Sadly, later, Yukino Bijin passed away due to acute heart failure on July 22, 2016. Gran Algeria. Gran Algeria is a innocent and hyper-assertive Umamusume known for her remarkable reflexes and unique training regimen. IRL Gran Algeria is a Japanese racehorse that was active from 2018 to 2021 and is best known for being the first Japanese horse in history to win all-mile G1 races for older horses. After retirement in 2021, she became a broodmare at Northern Farm, where she still lives today. Hishi Miracle. Hishi Miracle is a kind and warm-hearted Umamusume who wants to live up to the expectations of others, but struggles with sometimes slacking off. It is also known that Miracle has an extreme hatred for swimming, which is a reference to the IRL horse's hatred for swimming, with trainers reporting that in water he was practically stationary. IRL Hishi Miracle is a Japanese racehorse that was active from 2001 to 2005. In his early career, he would often struggle, however, in the later half of his career, he would secure multiple G1 victories. However, Hishi Miracle's career was cut short due to a leg injury, and he has been retired ever since. Hako Tarume. Hako Tarume is a local idol with long brown hair hailing from Tomakomai, who came to Tracen Academy to promote her love for her hometown. IRL Hako Tarume is a Japanese racehorse that was active from 2012 to 2016. He is best known for his strong performance on dirt, winning 10 G1 graded dirt races, being the first Japanese racehorse to do so. Since retirement, Hako Tarume has become the Tomakomai tourism ambassador and comes out to promote the town during cheering events. KS Miracle. KS Miracle is a calm and kind-hearted Umamusume who is known for her strong desire to pay back those who have saved her. After surviving 2 near-death experiences in the past, she feels the need to pay back the people who have saved her. IRL KS Miracle was an American-bred Japanese-trained racehorse that was briefly active in 1991. He was known for winning 5 of the 10 starts and setting multiple course records as a sprinter before his untimely death. Miracle entered the 1991 Sprinters Stakes after an intense run of races, already showing signs of stress. He started well, but in the final stretch, he suddenly fell behind and couldn't finish. He was found to have suffered a catastrophic leg fracture and had to be euthanized. Reports later revealed that he had been acting erratically beforehand, and while the exact cause remains unclear, many point to his demanding schedule was the reason behind his death. Kawakami Princess. Kawakami Princess is a scrappy and energetic Umamusume who dreams of rising from an ordinary life to royalty, inspired by an anime in which a princess fights hand in hand with a prince. IRL Kawakami Princess was a Japanese racehorse that was active from 2006 to 2009 and was the daughter of the legendary King Halo. Overall, Kawakami Princess is one of the most successful King Halo offspring, being the only to win multiple G1 races. However, Kawakami Princess was also known to be a rambunctious horse, often kicking the walls of her stable and biting anyone who got close. This got to the point where her groomer would hang a sign outside of her stable that said "Beware of the horse." Sadly, Kawakami Princess passed away on September 11th, 2023. Kiseki. Kiseki is a artistic Umamusume who loves to read and draw manga. IRL Kiseki is a Japanese racehorse that was active from 2016 to 2021, however is best known for his G1 victory at Kikuwa Show in 2017 despite the poor weather conditions. He is still alive today. Neo Universe. Neo Universe is a clever and quiet Umamusume who often struggles to communicate normally and often acts strangely, resulting in other Umas believing she's an alien. IRL Neo Universe was a Japanese racehorse that was active from 2002 to 2004 and is best known for nearly winning the 2003 Triple Crown, however came in short in third. Her inability to communicate normally in-game seems to be inspired by a comment from his jockey, who said the only bad thing about him is that he can't speak human language. In September 2004, after an injury, Neo Universe retired, however would become a prolific and successful sire. Sadly, Neo Universe was euthanized on March 8, 2021 after an incident during breeding where he sustained a severe injury to his shoulder. His jockey, Mirko Demiro, said on Instagram after his passing, "Meeting you was great. You changed my life. I will always keep you in my heart. Rest in peace, champion." No Reason. No Reason is a dark brown-haired Umamusume known for her ambitious and bold personality, and her goal is to become a shogun. IRL No Reason was active from 2002 to 2004 and was extremely talented, winning multiple G1s, however would suffer from superficial tendinitis multiple times. Sadly, on May 7th, 2024, No Reason would pass away from old age at 25. Sakura Laurel. Sakura Laurel is a cheerful and optimistic Umamusume known for her extreme determination on the racetrack. Born with extremely weak legs, she has been plagued by injuries throughout her career. However, despite this, she gets back up every time she gets knocked down. IRL Sakura Laurel was a Japanese racehorse that was active from 1994 to 1997 and was a part of the top 3 of seniors in 1997 with Mayono Top Gun and Marvelous Sunday. He was also known due to being extremely fragile, with 2 near-fatal injuries to his legs and a delayed debut. Luckily, Sakura Laurel would survive both of these injuries and go on to retire and peacefully pass away at the age of 29. Tanino Gimlet. Tanino Gimlet is a smart and fashionable Umamusume known for her strength on the racetrack and her close connection to vodka. IRL Tanino Gimlet is a Japanese racehorse that was active from 2001 to 2002, who is most famous for winning the 2002 Japanese Derby and being the father to one of the best female racehorses of all time, Vodka. After retirement, Tanino Gimlet would gain the nickname the God of Destruction due to his strange habit of kicking down the fences of his enclosure, which is also referenced in Umamusume. Transcend. Transcend is a curious and tech-savvy Umamusume who is constantly seeking out new information and loves working with gadgets. IRL Transcend is a Japanese racehorse active in the 2010s, best known for winning 4 G1 dirt races and placed second in the 2011 Dubai World Cup. This cup was just 15 days after the Tohoku earthquake, which was one of the most devastating earthquakes Japan had ever seen, so the race cheered up many Japanese fans who were affected. Transcend is still alive today, however he has since retired in 2012. Tsurumaru Tsuyoshi. Tsurumaru Tsuyoshi is a energetic, positive, and enthusiastic Umamusume who holds the dream of becoming a Triple Crown Umamusume. IRL Tsurumaru Tsuyoshi is a Japanese racehorse that was active from 1998 to 2000. At birth, he was called the last big star of Symboli Rudolph's children and fought with the other Golden Generation horses in the 1998 Classics, beating other famous horses like Special Week, TM Opera O, and Meijiro Bright. However, after a serious leg injury, he retired early, never winning a G1 race. Due to this same leg injury, he was unable to breed and now lives the rest of his days on Yoshino Farm. Wind Variation. Wind Variation is a sporty red-haired Umamusume dedicated to hard work and takes failure to a detrimental level. She rivals Orfevre and believes that if she falls 7 times, she will rise an 8th time. IRL Wind Variation was active from 2010 to 2015 and won no G1s and only won 2 G2 races. This is due to most of the time being beaten by Orfevre. He would go on to retire and become a successful sire, and now he lives in Aomori Prefecture. Bitter Glasses. Bitter Glasses is a energetic brown-haired Umamusume known for her love of training and not being a good team player. Unlike most Umamusume, she is not based on any horse in particular. However, horse owner Koichiro Yamaguchi named one of his horses Bitter Glace after the character. Byerly Turk. Byerly Turk is an energetic brown-haired AI Umamusume who is known for their intense training style and military-like personality. She is a member of the Three Goddess Trio, which includes the 3 dominant horses from the 17th to 1800s, which most racehorses can be linked back to. IRL Byerly Turk is one of the original thoroughbred ancestors from the 17th to 18th century, but today that bloodline is extremely rare, with only a few horses, including Simbali Rudolph and Tokai Teo, having their genes. Darly Arabian. Darly Arabian is a tan AI Umamusume known for their free-spirited and brave personality, respecting and valuing the individuality of every Umamusume's unique abilities. She is a member of the Three Goddess Trio, which includes the 3 dominant horses from the 17th to 1800s, which most racehorses can be linked back to. IRL Darly Arabian is one of the 3 dominant foundation sires of the modern thoroughbred horse, with over 95% of all modern thoroughbreds being traced back to him. Some examples of other Umas that are linked to Darly Arabian are Oguri Cap, Vodka, Daiwa Scarlet, Goldchip, Kitasan Black, TM Opera O, and many more. Godolphin Barb. Godolphin Barb is a kind and gentle AI Umamusume who is considered the most generous of the 3 goddesses and represents the love needed to help an Uma flourish. IRL Godolphin Barb was one of the 3 dominant foundation sires of the modern thoroughbred horse, whose sire line can be traced to the modern day, with Calstone Light O among his descendants. Uniquely, he was moved around Europe as his ownership changed hands multiple times, with for a time being owned by King Louis XV of France before being sold to an Englishman named Edward Coke. Yamanin Zephyr. Yamanin Zephyr is a aloof and airheaded Umamusume introduced as one of the main protagonists of the stage play Umamusume Pretty Derby Sprinter's Story. Once a fragile and often injured runner, she found her inspiration in the Emperor of Miles, and now only races when she feels truly free, even if others see her as unmotivated. IRL Yamanin Zephyr was a Japanese racehorse that was active from 1991 to 1993 and is named after the Greek god of the west wind. Yamanin Zephyr is best known for performing extremely well in large range distances, however he has since retired from horse racing in 2007. Pakatube. Pakatube is the official Umamusume channel and is run by Goldship. The channel began in March 2018 and featured a VTuber Goldship and showed regular gaming videos and comedy skits. The channel has since slowed down, but new updates and fun let's plays with the voice actors of many of the Umas are still being uploaded today. Sirius Symboli. Sirius Symboli is a dark brown-haired Umamusume with red eyes. She's confident and has the skills to back it up, and is the main rival of Symboli Rudolph. She has rough mannerisms and a crude way of speaking, which attracts many to her due to her image of toughness and charisma. She also hates ambiguity and lies, meaning that she means every word that she says. RL Sirius Symboli was active from 1982 to 1987 and had won the Japanese Derby and won races abroad in Europe and mainly France, but never won a single race after. In 1987, he was found to have a leg fracture and became a stud horse, and Sirius Symboli would pass away on April 8, 2012 at the age of 30. It is also known that Sirius Symboli has a long history of being abused and mistreated by his trainers. He was forced to train and race even while exhausted, which many believe is the reason behind that leg fracture. And that was the end of Layer 2, which had some somewhat well-known Umamusume, but were still somewhat obscure. Next, we will be heading into the final tier, Layer 3, which will include some of the most obscure and least known Umamusume that probably even the biggest Umamusume fans wouldn't know. Katsuragi Ace. Katsuragi Ace is a cheerful Umamusume hailing from the deep countryside of Japan. She is known for her strong dislike of anything boring, constantly chasing excitement, and enjoys working outside of the box. RL Katsuragi Ace was a Japanese racehorse that was active from 1982 to 1984 and is best known for becoming the first Japanese-born and trained horse to win the Japan Cup in 1984. This win also put an end to Symboli Rudolph's winning streak. Sadly, in his later years, Katsuragi Ace struggled with a heart condition, and after multiple major heart attacks, Katsuragi Ace passed away on July 3, 2000. Tap Dance City. Tap Dance City is a very active and lively American-born Umamusume who came to Japan the same day she saw a live broadcast of a Japanese Umamusume race. Her main goal is money and fame, something that she is not shy about, often boasting about her wins and the money that she earns from it. In real life, Tap Dance City is an American-bred, Japanese-trained racehorse that was active from 2000 to 2005. He is known for his unique front-running strategy and holds the record tie in distance in a G1 race. After retirement, he would become a professional breeding stud and riding horse until 2014, when he was moved to a retirement park called Pony Park Alpha. Admire Groove. Admire Groove is a talented Umamusume who often comes off as standoffish or rude due to her believing friends are useless noise. RL Admire Groove was a Japanese racehorse that was active from 2002 to 2005, known for her intense rivalry with Still in Love, who would go on to achieve the Triple Tiara. Admire Groove would go on to retire in 2005 and become a successful breeding horse until her untimely death in 2012 at the age of 12. Blast One Piece. Blast One Piece is a brown-haired Umamusume known for her kind and joyful personality and her eagerness to learn about humans, like their culture and history. IRL Blast One Piece started strong as a undefeated young horse, then struggled with consistency and ultimately retired after injuries cut his career short, which resulted in him not being able to become a stud horse. Bubblegum Fellow. Bubblegum Fellow is a orange-haired Umamusume known for her brave and strong personality. IRL Bubblegum Fellow was a Japanese racehorse that was active from 1995 to 1997 and is one of the children of the legendary Stay Gold. During his career, he was one of the 4 leading horses of the 1996 Classic Generation, dubbed the Sunday Silence for Heavenly Kings, but setbacks along the way ended his chances at the Triple Crown. However, he would notably become the first 3-year-old horse to win the Tenno Show Autumn since 1936. Sadly, Bubblegum Fellow passed away on April 26, 2010 at the age of 17. Kurin Bokator. Kuren Bokator is a kind-hearted Umamusume known for her gentle nature and love of flowers. She always puts others before herself, showing deep empathy and grace in everything she does. However, her quiet nature sometimes causes her to be overshadowed by more outgoing Umamusume. In real life, Kuren Bokator is a Japanese racehorse that was active from 2018 to 2021 and is known as the Silver Collector. This is due to coming in third 3 times in 3 Grade 1 races, which explains her quiet personality and getting overshadowed in-game. Durandal. Durandal is a elegant and cordial Umamusume who values manners above all else and dreams of meeting a trainer as precise and focused as she is. IRL Durandal was a Japanese racehorse that was active from 2001 to 2005, named after the legendary sword of French epic literature, Durandal, the Sword of Roland in the Song of Roland. Throughout his career, he was known for his difficult temperament and exciting racing style, which explains why she is so picky in-game. Espor City. Espor City is a rebellious and defiant Umamusume with long golden hair. IRL Espor City is a Japanese racehorse that was active from 2008 to 2013 and was known for making a major switch during his 3-year-old season. During his 3-year-old season, he would switch to running dirt races, becoming one of the best Japanese dirt races of the era, winning multiple Grade 1 dirt races. Furioso. Furioso is a special exchange student hailing from Funabishi Tracing Academy who wants to prove that Funabishi is better by beating the competition and overruling Central Racing. IRL Furioso is a Japanese racehorse who is active from 2006 to 2012 with an impressive career of 11 second place finishes in G1 races and 6 G1 wins. Furioso has only recently retired from stud duty and will live out the rest of his life peacefully at CR Stables. Lucky Lilac. Lucky Lilac is a brown long-haired Umamusume known for her elegant and unique Kansai dialect, which makes her sound more lively. In real life, Lucky Lilac is a Japanese racehorse that was active from 2017 to 2020 and is named after 5-petal lilacs, which are considered lucky. Lucky Lilac is also the real-life child of Orfevre, another legendary racehorse that appears in Umamusume. During her racing career, she was the main rival of Almond Eye, though she lost all Triple TR races to Almond. North Flight. North Flight is a fashionista Umamusume, often seen giving fashion advice to other Umas at the academy. IRL North Flight was a Japanese racehorse who ran from 1993 to 1994. She was named the Queen of Mile, with her emerging victorious at all 5-mile races that she had participated in, including 2 G1s, and had an ongoing rivalry with Sakura Bakushin-O. However, she was never able to beat Sakura in any of the races that they ran in together. Sadly, on January 22nd, 2018, Northern Flight passed away due to heart failure at 28. Red Desire. Red Desire is a red-haired Umamusume known for her dramatic, fantasy-style language. Red Desire often daydreams about another world where she will become a highly revered saintess. IRL Red Desire was a Japanese racehorse that was active from 2009 to 2011 and is the known daughter of Manhattan Cafe, which may explain her strange personality. She would become the first Japanese horse to win all-weather surface races, and just like her father, Red Desire was easily very lonely. During the 2010 trip to the Dubai World Cup, she traveled with the older mare Vodka, but when Vodka suffered a nosebleed and was withdrawn from the race and then retired shortly after, Red Desire suddenly found herself alone. The staff noticed how much she missed her companion, so they taped a life-size picture of Vodka's face to the stall in front of hers to keep her company. Sadly, Red Desire would pass away on May 20th, 2016 at the age of 10. Samson Big. Samson Big is a brown-haired Umamusume known for her small stature and determined personality. IRL Samson Big was a Japanese racehorse that was active from 1993 to 1997, and although he never won any grade races, he entered all Triple Crown races and witnessed Narita Bryan's Triple Crown. After retirement, he led a somewhat normal life until 2011 when he suddenly went missing and his whereabouts still remain unknown. Sunday Silence. Sunday Silence was an all-black American battalion active from 1988 to 1990 and was known for his amazing racing capabilities. After his retirement due to an injury during his 4th season, he would become a prolific breeding stallion, with him being connected to many of the Umamusume seen in game, like Marvelous Sunday, Stay Gold, Manhattan Cafe, Agnes Tachyon, Still in Love, and many, many more. And even though he does not have an official Uma, Sunday Silence's presence is still felt in passing, like being implied as Manhattan Cafe's invisible friend. And that is the end of the ultimate Umamusume Iceberg. Thank you for watching. I think there's something really special about Umamusume. The fact that these real racehorses, many of whom have since long passed, are given a new life, gaining huge fan bases and continuing to run forever through the game and anime feels genuinely beautiful to me. If you haven't checked out any Umamusume content, then I highly recommend the movie Umamusume Beginning of a New Era, a beautifully animated film with some of the best drama I've seen from an animated movie. Lastly, I want to thank a close friend Peyton for help writing some of the entries, and the Umamusume wiki for help with information. Make sure to let me know your favorite Uma in the comments down below, and if you like content like this, like and subscribe. I post icebergs like this all the time, and make sure to check out those if you're interested. But thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!